Hello and welcome to this SUPboarder video. My name is Bo and I'm here to talk to you about fins. A few of you have written in via email and left some comments on YouTube, so we thought we'd do a feature about this to find out how many fins are best for a beginner paddler. It doesn't really matter how many fins you have on your board. Well, fins do make a difference to the feel of the board and also the performance. You may have seen some boards getting around that have 0 fins, or you may have seen some getting around that have 5 fins. There's so many different fin configurations out there, so we're going to find out if they help with stability and how do you know if you need 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 fins. Let's find out. Fins are found on the bottom of the board and are used for directional stability and also easy control when we're steering with our feet or with our paddle. They keep us paddling in a straight line, known as tracking, and prevent the tail of the board from sliding side to side. They also give us better traction and control with SUP surfing, so if you don't have a fin, you're going to be paddling in circles. There are a few factors in determining how many fins you may need in your paddleboard. Fins do create drag. Anything attached to the board itself that's in the water will create drag. This even goes for your leash that may be dragging in the water as well. So bigger fins, and more of them, are going to increase drag on your paddleboard, which in turn slows you down. However, these same big fins are going to give you that directional stability to paddle in a straight line. On the flip side, smaller fins create less drag, but they also have more maneuverability. If you're a beginner paddler, you may have to switch sides more often to keep tracking or paddling in a straight line when compared to using a bigger fin. You also need to look at your paddling conditions and surrounding area. Are there shallow areas where using bigger fins may get caught on the sand or bump on the rocks? Or is there a slight wind, as this can also turn your board faster if you're using smaller fins? Most touring and flat water all-round boards, inflatable and composite, are going to come with either a standard 1 fin box or a 2+1 setup. A 2+1 setup means you can use 2 smaller fins on the side with a larger fin at the back. As a beginner paddler, these combinations are ideal. It gives you the advantage of paddling more in a straight line, and it's still fairly maneuverable. I would definitely recommend, if you can, try to play around and switch up your fins to feel what might suit you best. There are certain techniques you can do as you progress that can help you keep paddling in a straight line. So dropping down your fin size is going to reduce that drag, it's going to speed you up, but it's also going to give you a bit more maneuverability if you're going to turn or use it in the waves. You may see race SUPs often only ever have 1 fin box in them for 1 fin. This is so that people can put 1 fin in to create the least amount of drag, usually a smaller fin, and the paddlers have a better technique to keep in that straight line. Also, the boards are much longer, which also plays a factor into how they track. But do fins enhance the stability of a paddleboard? Well, yes, as long as the paddleboard is moving through water, fins are going to help you stabilize and make sure you're tracking in that straight line. If your board's sitting in the water, generally what's going to give you the stability is the length and the width, or the overall shape, the outline shape of the board, and also the rail profile, the bottom shape, and the contours on the bottom of the board are going to give that stability. So what about 2 fins, 3 fins, 4 fins or 5? Well, these are the setups you should be using in the surf. In longboard SUPs, you can still find the single fin option in many boards, and this is used to enhance the speed of a board down the line. It's generally a bigger center fin, so turning isn't as achievable as smaller fins, but it creates a pivot point so surfers can stand back and pivot from the tail to bring the board around. Most longboard SUPs have the option of 3 fins, where you can use 2 very small fins in the front, known as stabilizers, to help turn the board in the waves. 2 fins are designed on boards and they act as a rudder for each rail. So moving from rail to rail is going to be a really easy transition, and it's going to be really fast as the water's flowing right through the center of the board. 3 fins are generally the standard in most surf SUPs. You'll find that with 3 fins, you're able to carve a lot easier and create an arc with your turn. Of course, tighter turns can be made using smaller fins. 4 fins or quads are generally used for hold in the wave face and drive down the line. 5 fins can be used, but the drag is starting to become noticed if you go more than this number. Ruben's covered this topic in some other SUPboarder videos, so make sure you go and check those out. Finally, does it really matter how many fins we have in our board? Well, yes, it's definitely going to impact the performance of your paddling. It's also going to depend on which discipline of SUP you're doing, whether it's flat water, racing, surfing, downwinding. There's always going to be a specific fin type that's going to suit that discipline. Beginner paddlers can use 1 or 3 fins, with 1 fin at the back creating that less drag. With 3 fins, generally have a slightly smaller back fin and those 2 smaller front fins. And SUP surfers can mix it up with 2, 3, 4 or 5 fins to see what best suits them. I hope you learned a lot from this video today. Please feel free to like and comment below. We'd love to hear from you, see if you have any questions about what fins you might use. If you want to know anything more about the sizing of fins, what different fins you should be using, there's tons of SUPboarder videos to explain all of that, and I'm going to link them below, so make sure you check those out if you're interested in learning more about fins. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on another SUPboarder video very soon.